Okay. So we are going to start with a two-handled, single-legged deadlift and row. So what's going to happen is when you do the deadlift, you're not going to have a lot of resistance on the band. In fact, maybe there will be none. It's really more about the balance. But then when I come up, I'm going to row with two arms, and maybe I need to put tippy toe down, maybe I don't. But this is definitely more about that balance again. So when I hinge forward, I'm keeping a nice long spine. Maybe I totally balance, or maybe I put a tippy toe down, and it's a double arm row. We hinge forward, come up, palms are facing each other. It's a narrow row. And then we do it again. Hinge forward, row. If you need a tippy toe on the floor the whole time, then that's what you do. So if you're finding it really difficult to balance today, just give yourself a little support. Head up, chest up, core tight. Standing leg is soft, but it doesn't bend more as I tip forward. It stays the same. Last one. And then let's switch sides. So back onto that second side. Same thing. Hinge forward. Keep your hips square to the ground. Don't rotate open. Head up, chest up, hinge. And then we row. Palms are facing each other, meaning the thumbs are pointed towards the ceiling. Squeeze and row. Squeeze and row. Two more. And last one. Okay. Let's turn you around. This is a combination of a front lunge and a fly. Remember, our flies are big, wide open arms, and we're squeezing our shoulder blades so much that there's no way our hands could possibly touch. So if I go like this and my hands touch, my shoulders are totally rolling forward, which takes away from the work of the chest and actually can put that shoulder in a not so safe range of motion. Squeeze those shoulder blades, squeeze those shoulder blades. 5 more seconds. Big wide open collarbones, and we rest. Okay. Turning around, you might need a little less resistance for this one. You'll decide. This is an alternating pullover. Basic version, you're hinged forward. One arm goes while the other one's resting, and then the other one goes. So keep going back and forth. There's a tiny bit of tension on the band as it's forward, but not a lot. Core is super tight. We're not letting the shoulders roll forward here either. Straight arms. Triceps are involved as a stabilizer, but where you're really pulling from is your lat underneath your armpit. Rest. Okay. I'm going to go back to the heavier resistance for this last of these 4. Palms down, elbows out. We're stepping and doing an elbow drive. Step back to center, step on a diagonal elbow drive. Step, step together, step. So it's a transverse lunge is what we call this. You're stepping back on a diagonal. That front leg stays pretty straight. There's different kinds of transverse exercises. Last week we did a transverse squat. This is a transverse, almost like a reach lunge. So just one of the legs is bending. And the one that's bending is the one you're stepping on. Stepping to the right, my right leg bends. Stepping with my left leg bends. 5 seconds. And rest. Okay. All righty. So we're going to go back to our first one. So that was the single-legged deadlift, 2 handles. Remember, there probably won't be a crazy amount of tension on the band when you come up. Definitely increases that tension as you pull. If you need assistance from that opposite foot when you come up, put it down. If you need it the whole time, it's just the tippy toe. Head up, chest up. Keep the standing leg soft, but do not bend it more as you go forward. Core tight. Before you even move 1 inch into any exercise, engage the core. That's going to protect your back, going to keep you more stable. 5 more seconds. And rest. Switch sides. Hamstrings and glutes for the legs. And then, of course, rhomboids, lats. Pull back on the row portion of this. Head up, chest up. Working on that balance as we work the muscles to get stronger. They're getting more stable as well. 5 seconds. Rest. Okay, let's turn you around again. We've got our flies with our front lunge, big wide open arms, step and step. Big arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Nice. And again, check that core. Are you keeping it solid? Gonna help you balance. Gonna keep your back happy. 5 seconds. And we rest. Okay. So as I mentioned last time, maybe use a little less resistance for this next one, especially because I'm going to give you the harder version. So the harder version goes like this. My arms are already down by my sides. So there's work happening. And then one arm goes forward and back. So even the one that's held back by your hip is working. Before, when they were forward and you were alternating, the one that was forward really wasn't doing much. Open the chest. Don't let your upper back round. Five seconds. Rest. Okay. I'm going back to heavier resistance. In fact, I'm going to go up. We'll go alternating sides again, palms down, elbows out. Step, elbow drive. Step to center. The foot you're stepping out on, that's the knee that bends. The one that's staying stationary, that leg stays pretty straight. You don't have to be locked out straight, but it's pretty straight. Drive that elbow. Try not to crank on your wrist. Keep the wrist flat as you go. You could double pulse, especially if you're using a band that you're thinking, this is challenging, but not quite enough. Try double pulsing. 1, 2, 5 more seconds. And rest. Okay, very good. One more time with our first exercise, which was that single-legged deadlift and double arm row. You could do a couple things here to make it harder. Of course, you could increase the resistance. Other options, maybe I double pulse the deadlift. Maybe I double pulse the row. Maybe I don't do any of that. If I need support, tippy toe, either the whole time or just when I come back up. Maybe it's a double here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are you engaging your core? I'm telling you, if you don't, you're probably going to topple over. Keep your head up, chest up. Don't look at the ground. That will also take you down. See, I let my core go for a second and I almost went over. I was focusing on the clock instead of my core. Keeping the time. All right, switch sides. Here we go. Core engaged, boom, before you even start. Maybe it's a double. Maybe this side is a little less stable and you need a tippy toe. That's okay. You're still training those muscles, and eventually you won't need that tippy toe at all. Focus. Stay present with what you're doing. 5 seconds. Rest. Okay. Flip it around. Lunge forward, alternating legs. And we have our fly. Yes, you could double pulse these. I know you were going to ask. If it's too easy, double pulse or increase your resistance by using a stronger band. Or maybe you move away from your anchor points a little bit. Squeeze those shoulder blades. It's easy to get sloppy when we get tired. That's how we hurt ourselves. So let's not do that. 5 seconds left. Rest. Okay. Alrighty. We're going back to our alternating pullovers. I'm going to suggest that harder version again. That's holding those arms by your sides and then alternating. So we're here. Maybe you double pulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe you don't. Too much double pulse, don't do it. If your form is suffering, it's not worth it. If you need less resistance, you take less resistance. If at any point you feel like you have to do this to get the band by your side, it's too much. You need to be able to keep the good posture as you go, right? Maybe it's a double, maybe it's not. If you feel like you got to push through with the bent elbow, it's probably too much resistance. 5 seconds. Rest. Okay. Last time with our wide row. So wide row is up here, but it's going to be one at a time. But we're going to be doing it all on one side and then the other. You're still going to hold on to both handles though. So you'll pick a side. You'll keep going to that side. So we step together, same side, step. And remember, you could double pulse these. Keep going on that same side. Core tight. Careful not to crank on the wrist. That means keep the wrist flat. Switch sides. Second side. Drive the elbow. Drive the elbow. Check in with that core. Open chest. 5 more seconds. Don't let that shoulder roll forward. And we rest. All right. Grab some water. And then we're going to move on. For this first exercise of this group of exercises, you can go pretty heavy. So I'd say no less than 10 pounds, probably 10 pounds or more for all of you guys. And if it does not work for you to do exactly this, I'll give you some options. But what the exercise is you're starting in basically a lunge, and then you're stepping it behind yourself, stepping it back. So it's a curtsy, regular lunge, curtsy. But notice I'm not going up, down, up, down. So I'm not going up, down, up, down. I'm actually staying very, very low. And it goes back lunge, curtsy lunge, back lunge, curtsy lunge. So go ahead and join me. It's not a big movement, side to side. And you can see I'm staying very low. Most of the weight is on the front leg. I am putting some on the ball of that back foot as I go back and forth. All right, let's switch sides. Step it back, basic lunge, side lunge. Take it across, take it back. Curtsy, regular lunge. If it's not working for you to do the curtsy, just pulse out regular lunges. It's going to feel intense, maybe just as intense doing this. 5 seconds. Rest. All right, set down those heavier weights. You need something lighter now that you can do rear delts, back of the shoulders. So that's going to be significantly lighter. 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 pounds. So this is going to be hinged forward, bend the knees, palms are forward, and we lift. Chest level only, no swinging. Core tight so you don't feel it in your back. Chest level. So notice I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. My core is engaged. It's very slow and controlled. There's no momentum. If you're feeling this in your trapezius, you might need less weight. If you're using less weight, maybe you double pulse. Try to be pretty flat to the floor with your body. So Christina, you need to come forward, yes. 5 seconds. And rest. Okay. We'll set one of those down. So we're going to be taking single dumbbell in both hands. Grab the outsides of the dumbbell. The weight's going to come over your head. This is that funky side crunch standing core exercise. So you just think elbow to knee. If it's too much with the weight over your head, bring it to your chest instead, or just set the weight down. Elbow to knee, lean it over, elbow to knee, and knee to elbow. Like a side crunch, standing up. Side crunch, side crunch. Again, if you need to bring it a little lower, if your arms are dying, maybe you bring it to your chest for a few, or just set the weight down. If you set the weight down, it's still going to look like this, right? Good. 5 more seconds. Okay, let's do our second side. Maybe bring the weight down for a second. Let the arms rest. And then we go. Side crunch. Side crunch. The farther above the head the weight is, the harder it will be. So make a good choice on that. Maybe it's like literally almost sitting on the head, or maybe it's in front of your face. Side crunch, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Show you from a couple different angles here. 5 seconds. Rest. Maybe you're using the same weight, maybe you're not. The little cardio blast, just 30 seconds. I'm suggesting jumping jack with a press up. You do what you need to do. Here we go. Here's an option. Maybe that's too much. You just hold the weight at the chest. Maybe you do more like a scissor. Maybe press the weight forward instead. Do something to get the heart rate up. Whatever it is great. 5 more seconds. Rest. Okay. Set that weight down. You have 15 seconds to catch your breath. Take some deep breaths. Breathe into your belly. 10 more seconds. After 10 seconds, we're going to pick up the heavier weights again, or switch out if you need to go something heavier or lighter. All right, so we're going to start in 5 seconds. This is that curtsy lunge, back lunge, but in that super squatted down position. Here we go. Take it back, behind yourself, to the back, to behind yourself. A little weight on the ball of the foot back there, but not much. Back and forth. See how far back my leg is? So I'm not here. It's way back here. If it doesn't work for you to do those, you pulse it out 5 more seconds. Rest. So if your knees don't like that, just do a regular pulsing lunge. Here we go, second side. And the regular pulsing lunge just looks like this, right? It's a great one too, trust me. I'm feeling this one just as much. This just challenges the balance and your ankle and knee and hip stability. 5 seconds. Back and forth, rest. Okay, nice. Set those down carefully. We'll pick up the lighter weight. So make a good choice. Go up or down as needed. Rear delt. So you've got to be pretty flat to the floor. Otherwise, you're going to get the medial delt, which is the middle. If you're standing kind of upright, we're trying to get the back of the shoulders. Palms forward, and we go straight out. Core engaged. You don't have to be completely flat, but definitely at least a 45. It's not way up here. Core engaged. Really important to take care of the back. Maybe you're double pulsing here. Other option, if you're just feeling it in your neck, no matter what, try alternating your arms and rest. Okay. Set one down. A little different. We're going to do a dump the bucket all on one side and then the other. So our dump the bucket, we go from one side, rotate way up over that opposite shoulder. Here we go. Up. Powerfully dumping that bucket of water over your shoulder. Core super tight. You don't take it into your back. Notice my hips are moving. Make sure yours are as well. What should be stopping this range of motion is in my hip and my core, not my lower back. If I'm feeling it, my lower back, rest. You might be twisting too far. You might be not letting your hips move, or you're letting your core go. So don't do that. Here we go, other side. Little bend, rotate. Little bend of those knees, rotate up and over the shoulder. So really pay attention. What is stopping this range of motion? Is it your back? If it is, something needs to change. Rest. We have our little cardio blast, 30 seconds. Maybe it's a jumping jack press up. Maybe it's something else. You'll decide. Here we go. This is one option. Maybe forward. Maybe you're just holding at the chest. Maybe you're scissoring the legs. Maybe you just really need to do something like a pulsing squat. Maybe right now you just need something a little less jarring. You could also do a modified jumping jack. 5 seconds. Rest. All right, set that down. Catch your breath. Let's go ahead and grab a little sip of water again. Give ourselves a tiny bit more of a break. So this next set will be 150% effort. So again, remember, we're not starting yet. If it doesn't work to do the back and forth, just try pulsing it out. Trust me, that's going to be plenty intense. It doesn't challenge the stability as much, but maybe today isn't the day to work on that. All right, starting in 5 seconds, grab your appropriate weight, and here we go. Maybe it's side to side. Maybe it's a pulsing lunge. You decide what's appropriate for you. Weight in the heel of that front foot. It should be booty on fire. Mine is. Hopefully yours is too. Okay, switch sides. Here we go. Take it back, take it across, take it back, take it across. Nice and low. Back and forth, nice and low. Or maybe it's a pulsing lunge. You decide. Keep going. 5 more seconds. Rest. Woo! My buns are on fire. Okay. Last set of our rear delts, back of the shoulders. Again, make sure you are hinged forward. But even before you hinge forward, tighten that core. Here we go. Palms forward, roll the shoulders back, up and down. If you're feeling it in your lower back, you probably need less weight. And if you're lifting and you're thinking, yeah, but that's not enough weight, try double pulsing. And again, if you're only feeling it in your traps or your neck, you might alternate the arms. Five more seconds. Rest. Okay. Put one of those guys down. Okie doke. So we're going to do a combo of our side crunch and our dump the bucket. Not one and one, but we'll do one and then separately do the other. That would be an interesting dance move. So let's all start with the right side coming to the right. So elbow to knee, right knee lifts up, side bend, elbow to knee, knee to elbow, side, crunch, crunch, crunch. Keep going, 5 seconds. Okay, take your foot down. We're gonna take the weight to the left and then up over the right shoulder. So we go up, up, up over the right shoulder. Remember, what should be slowing you down is absolutely the core and maybe your hip and glute muscle, not your back. 5 seconds. Okay, arms back overhead. Elbow to knee on the left side, knee to elbow. Nice. 5 seconds. Okay, both feet down. Take the weight to the right. It goes up over the left shoulder. Here we go. Up. Engage that core first, then you go. Five seconds. Rest. All right, last cardio blast. 30 seconds. Give it 100%. Here we go. Whatever your 100% looks like is perfect. You know where you are. You know what you need to do to give it your 100%. 10 seconds left. That's it. 10 itty bitty seconds. 5 seconds. You're done. Woohoo! All right, you guys. That was a good sweaty one. Please stretch, ice if anything got irritated. Have a good day. Stay cool. Bye.